Welcome to Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. I am your host, Joe Jordan, obviously, and excited about today's episode. Listen, man, 24-25 season is about to kick off next week. Are y'all excited? I know I am. I'm very excited. The NBA preseason is over, and we got to talk about the preseason briefly. We got to talk about some things that happened in the news during the preseason, and then we're going to preview the season, the regular season for the Sacramento Kings. But listen, if you're watching, make sure you like this video. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this video with a friend or someone you know, especially a Sacramento Kings fan, so they can be involved in the show by being in the comment section. I can see all the comments y'all will be putting throughout the show, and yeah, we're gonna get it rocking and roll. So first thing we got to talk about is the preseason. 0-5. The Kings are the only team in the preseason that went 0-5. Well, that are 0-5. There are other teams still playing games. The Kings, like a lot of fans right now, they are like, oh my gosh, we don't look too good. We don't like a playoff team. Should we panic? Should we desperately make a roster move, make a trade early in the season? Was getting DeMar DeRozan the wrong move? A lot of concerns after the preseason game, which I understand because, the Kings, I'm going to give you the stats. It's only preseason, but I want to give you some of the stats in the preseason. The Kings right now, when the preseason right now, 27th in offensive rating, 24th in defensive rating. As y'all saw, the Golden State Warriors, if that was a regular season game, that first game we played the Warriors, they would have broke their three-point made record if that was a regular season game. So they hit an all-time record in threes. And that was a big issue last year with our defense was three-point shooting. We averaged 101 points per game, which is fifth worst. 38% field goal percentage as a team, which is second worst. 25% three-point percentage as a team, which is the worst. 73% from the free throw line, which is 16th in the league, which is average in the preseason. But as a team, we want to be better than 73%, which is better than last year. I believe we were the worst free throw percentage shooting team in the NBA last year. But look, should we panic? No, we should not panic. It's only the preseason. If you watch those games, you can tell like guys weren't giving their all. We didn't have our full team out there. Like Trey Lyles didn't play in the preseason. Kevin Huerter didn't play in the preseason. De'Aaron Fox, I'm just watching De'Aaron Fox. His motor wasn't high in the preseason. You just integrated a new player into the whole system, which is DeMar DeRozan, which is going to be heavily used in the system. Sabonis played hard. I like Sabonis' effort. I like some of the guys off the bench effort. But it's the preseason. There's no need to panic. Now, some signs, if the season results are true, it's based off game one, in my opinion. How do we look game one? If game one, we still look sluggish, still look effortless, and game one is at home too. So it's a home opener. Usually we start the season off on the road, but this year we're starting off at home. So will we start sluggish? Will we look like how we look in the preseason? Will we have 101 points only? Will we, shoot 25% from three, 38% from the field goal range? So we got to see game one, and game one will give us an hint how the early season will go. But no need to panic. DeMar DeRozan made his debut as a Sacramento King. Obviously, not the regular season debut. We're talking about preseason debut. And shout out to my boy Dave in the comments. He said that would change in the regular season. Yes, sir. It's only the preseason. All right, only the preseason. So DeMar DeRozan, his debut versus the Warriors, the first game against the Warriors at home. DeMar DeRozan had 15 points. He was 6 from 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from the three-point line. His first shot was off of a DHO from Sabonis. I like what I saw. I like what I saw from DeRozan. DeRozan is we're still getting used to DeRozan. You can just tell. We're still getting used to DeRozan. I feel like that first game against the Warriors, the offense was flowing. But after that, not much, really. But I think DeRozan adds what he adds to the Kings is tremendous. If y'all remember last year, the Kings were a top 4 seed And then they played Dallas in back-to-back games, I believe, without Malik Monk, or it probably was with Malik Monk. And we lost back-to-back games to Dallas, and then after that, our season started trending down because Malik Monk, he ended up having an injury. He got hurt. And if you know the Kings, outside of De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk is the only guy for real who is a shot creator off the dribble on that team. So bringing DeRozan aboard helps a lot because he's another shot creator when things get stalled out, the offense gets stalled out, when Fox getting all the attention, when shots are not falling, you can look at DeRozan to get you a good quality shot from the mid range, and he shoots at a high percentage there also. And he's a great free throw shooter, and he gets to the line a whole lot. So bringing DeRozan on board, it was a huge addition. I made a video about DeRozan being signed here, so you can go look at that. But yeah, I mean, having DeRozan is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. And also, I was thinking too, as I was watching the preseason games, DeRozan is a good passer. So there are times like I look at our roster and I'm like, okay, who's gonna be our backup point guard? And obviously, our rookie, he's hurt right now. He's gonna be out for most of the year. He's gonna most of the calendar year, so he's not gonna be back until maybe December. But outside of him, I'm like, okay, who's our backup point guard? You got Malik Monk, obviously. You got Kobe Jones, right? So I'm thinking, DeRozan can be a guy who can be a. Oh, you got Keon Ellis, obviously, but Keon Ellis, he's not really on ball a lot. Like everything with him is all ball. But DeRozan could be on ball a lot when De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk are not in the game. So I think DeRozan adds a huge thing to our team, and I'm excited to have DeRozan. And I think he will get the Kings to another level. I really do. So yes, he looked good in the first game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to him this season. For those who know, Domantas Sabonis, the Kings want Sabonis to shoot more threes. They want him to shoot more threes, and we got a little glimpse because he shot around 40% last year, but he was only taking like 1 3 a game. So now with DeRozan, another mid-range shooter. De'Aaron Fox, we know that he's going to shoot threes at a high clip, but De'Aaron Fox also let it be known that he wants to get back to shooting the midi because he was lethal in the mid-range, and he kind of went away with that last year, but he's still going to be a high clip shooting threes. I think he will grow from last year also with that, but he's going to be shoot a lot more mid-range. But having DeRozan, where his sweet spot is that mid-range, we need to spread the flow out. So on a lot of them DHOs, you'll see Sabonis popping out on those DHOs to the three-point line or on the pick and roll on the three-point line. So they need Sabonis to shoot that three to continue to space the flow out. Now, he didn't shoot pretty good in the preseason. He was 1 for 11. 1 for 11 from the three-point line. His only three came against Utah. Right? The first game against the Warriors, he took 0 threes. And I'm like, okay, not gonna take a three. Okay, cool. But he did take a mid-range. Like his mid-range was on. Like he was shooting some long middies, and he was hitting this preseason. The second game against the Warriors, he took 3 but made 0. Against Portland, he was 0 for 3. Utah 1 for 3, and Clippers 1 for 2. So he needs to shoot that more though. He needs to continue to shoot that. Like I said, it's a preseason. Our team shot 25% from 3. I don't think that's going to be the case in regular season. Like we're gonna be a good 3-point shooting team, and we shoot threes at a high clip. But Sabonis needs to take more threes though. Like I said, he's took 1 a game, and he shot 40%. And all his threes he shoot are really wide open. He got a chance. He every time he shoots a three, he has a chance to put his hands on the laces and everything. Like it's like a set shot every single time, no pressure. So I do think he needs to continue to shoot that three. I'm excited to see him shoot that three because it will open up the floor for the rest of the team. All right, we had a trade during the preseason. Jalen McDaniels was traded by the Kings, and we sent over a 2031 second-round pick to the Spurs. Second time we dealt with the Spurs this year. We sent Harrison Barnes there. And what we received in return was a Bulls protected top Bulls 2025 top 55 protected second round pick. So, the good thing about that is the pick that we sent is down the road. So we are assuming 2031 we should be competing for championships. I mean, that's what the front office keeps saying. Like we're going to be patient but we also want to be aggressive and we want to start winning now. We want to get to the playoffs and be a continuously playoff team. We want to be that team that's always, you can always bank on being in the playoffs, and we want to contend for championships. So by the time 2031 comes around, that second round pick is going to be a high second round pick. And the way the Bulls are constructed, I mean, it's a top 55 second round pick, which is a like we're expecting the Bulls to be and this is a pick from next year. We're expecting to keep that pick. The Bulls have to be like one of the worst teams in the NBA, like worst 7 in the NBA, worst 6 in the NBA. So, and that could possibly happen with the gutted out roster they have, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be sellers at the trade deadline. So when that trade happened, the report was that it's a salary dump for Sacramento Kings, right? The San Antonio Spurs will take Jaden McDaniels' $4.74 million expiring contract in order to acquire that second round draft pick. All right, and the Spurs intend to waive McDaniels after the trade. It's official, so his salary will remain on their cap as dead money for the rest of the 2024 season. And there was speculations like, oh, maybe they freed up that roster spot to get a Brandon Ingram, to get a Zach LaVine, which, you know, obviously y'all know how I feel. I would rather have Brandon Ingram. But when I heard that news, I honestly believe that we're not going to make a big splash this year, like getting a Brandon Ingram or a Zach LaVine. Because think about it, if we get a Brandon Ingram, what happens to Keegan Murray? Think about that. Are we going to put Keegan Murray on the bench? Like, what happens? You know, so now we can start Keegan Murray still have a big lineup. So, like, have, like, you know what? That could actually work because we can have De'Aaron Fox, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Brandon Ingram, and Domantas Sabonis. And Keon come off the bench. Yeah, that could actually work. But I like having Keon on the bench. On Keon on the floor because he's that third defender outside of Fox and Keegan Murray who can guard these guards. But it could possibly work. But I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it for it to happen, but I don't think it would. And that'd be a lot of scores too. A lot of people that want the ball in their hands. So we'll see how that works. And Brandon Ingram is injury prone. He's always got these nicked up injuries. But guess what happened after that? We end up signing Doug McDermott. All right, we signed Doug McDermott. So now, obviously, this is not a big, huge move. It's not. But one thing I like about this move is ass shooting. Like shooting off the bench. Now we all know Sasha, my man Sasha from last year. He was supposed to be that shooter off the bench, and it didn't work out. And he shot pretty okay. He didn't really shoot to the standard he was sold us to be. And I believe if he had more opportunities, his percentage could have gotten up, but he was in and out the lineup all year. So Doug McDermott is going to be in the same situation, in and out the lineup all year. But Doug McDermott is a 10-year vet, right? He's a 10-year vet, been there, done that. So he will always be ready. Every situation he goes to, he's like a 40% free throw, 3-point shooter. Last year he shot 41%, I believe. He's a 41% career 3-point shooter. I will never forget 2 years ago, we played the Spurs at home. We played the Spurs at home towards the end of the season, and they had a bunch of injuries because we knew they were taking for Wemby. And Doug McDermott went crazy against us. I will never forget that. He was looking like dirt in a whiskey, literally shooting post fades and all that stuff. So I feel like he's a good piece. Now, he did hit a 3 yesterday. He missed a lot too, but he hit a 3 in the corner pass from Keegan Murray. But he's another shooter that can work around Domantas Sabonis. And obviously, defensively, it's gonna be an issue because he's not a really good defender at all. But I like the move because he adds shooting. I'm all okay with shooting with this team because we shoot threes at a high clip. We were one of the highest shooting 3-point attempts last year in the NBA. So I'm all for adding shooting to our roster because when you come on the floor, you have to be able to space the floor out, especially with Sabonis, DeRozan, and somewhat De'Aaron Fox. Because De'Aaron Fox wants to get in the paint. So I'm okay with. I ain't gonna lie. When they said we signed them, I was kind of happy. I was like, oh, okay. I actually like this. I like this move. Now let's go into the 24-25 season. All right, we're going to quickly predict this season. So, look, as y'all know, Mike Brown, this is his 3rd year here. He signed an extension on all season. And Um, his extension goes with Monty McNair's contract. And then Monty said time extension. He probably did. I don't know, but I know both of their contracts are lined up together, Monty and Mike Brown, which is good. So and I think that's the first time we give a coach an extension. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so Mike Brown's first year there in 22-23 season, we were the third seed and we finished 48-34. Last year, 23-24 season, we finished 46-36 and we were the ninth seed. So we won 2 less games and dropped 6 spots. We won the first playing game against the Warriors at home. We blew them out. Keegan Murray went crazy. And Keon Ellis strapped Steph Curry. And we got blown out, basically. I'm not going to say blown out, but we basically got manhandled by, like, we were up early that game, and then they just took over the second half of the game. The Pelicans. They beat us for the 5th or 6th time, I think, for the 6th time in the season. So we got eliminated. We never made the playoffs. I still, to this day, feel like we would have put up a better fight against OKC. We were capable of beating OKC in the 7-game series, in my opinion. But it's neither here nor there. So, what's my prediction for this year? All right, my solid prediction for this year is 50-32. I believe this team will win 50 games and go 50-32. I think our ceiling, I'm not going to say our ceiling, but if I had to make a prediction with high hopes, like, okay, this is what I think we could get, is 55-27. You know, obviously, you don't want to put a ceiling. I feel like we can win more than 55 games. But if you ask me, hey, Joe, on a high note, how you think y'all going to finish? I would say 55-27. On a low note, how will y'all finish? I would say 47-35. Like, I don't think we'll lose less than 47 games. Like, look at last year. We won 46 games. Unless we have, like, major injuries, obviously. But I'm not assuming. I'm assuming Fox will be healthy most of the year. Like, our core guys will be healthy most of the year. Like, if Malik Monk suffers another injury, you know, God forbid, you know, if Malik Monk suffers another injury, I don't think it's going to be as detrimental like it was last year. Because last year, like I said, we lost a bunch of games. First, we lost a bunch of games we weren't supposed to lose to. We got blown out by a lot of bad teams. And on top of that, we down the stretch, we were horrible down the stretch, and we still won 46 games. You know, so I think 47 is our floor, 55 is our ceiling. Not ceiling, but like my high hope prediction. My low hope prediction is 47, but my right on, spot on prediction is 50-32. Now, I believe we can be a 3 to 5 seed this year. Obviously, we can be higher or lower, but I'm predicting 3 to 5 seed out of the play-in. That's always the goal, get out of the play-in, but you want home court advantage first round. Now, there are 3 teams in the West that I see that most likely will have a better record than us. Everybody else, I feel like we can have a better record in. Because this is not the playoffs, it's a regular season. Like, the 3 teams that I can see have a better record than the Kings this year are OKC, Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Denver Nuggets. You know, the Denver Nuggets will always be fighting for a number 1 seed. OKC were just a number 1 seed last year, and I believe they got better. Minnesota, another young team like OKC who had injuries. Like, Cat was out most, like, a lot of the year, and they were still a top 2 seed, you know, top 3 seed. So, but fighting for a number 1 seed down the stretch. So I believe Minnesota will maintain that top 3 status. Now, you look at the other teams in the West, like the Warriors. Well, we're not going to talk about the Warriors. Let's go to, like, the Suns. The Suns, you got the Suns, Dallas. Like, the Suns deal with injuries a lot. So does Dallas. Like, Kyrie, he deals with injuries a lot also. You look at who else in the West? Sorry, I should have wrote this down. Memphis is a sneaky team. Memphis is a sneaky team that Ja Morant was out basically the whole year, and he's back now. And they got Zach Edey. I thought that was a good pickup for them. They're getting guys back like Steven Adams is healthy, Brandon Clark is healthy, so they're you know, they can make some noise too. You know, so Memphis could be a top seed. You look at Houston. Houston could be better this year. You know, San Antonio with Wemby's evolution and bringing over Chris Paul, they could definitely be in that playoff race too. But you look at teams like from last year, like the Suns, like I said, the Suns, the Warriors. Like, to be honest with you, the Warriors, I'm not too high on the Warriors. I'm not sure what I can get from the Warriors. I would have to see the Warriors season play out. And who knows what happened to Draymond this year. So, but like the New Orleans Pelicans, I don't know what to think about them either. Like losing Valanciunas I think it's gonna be a big loss for them. And then dealing with Zion injuries and Brandon Ingram injuries, and they brought in DeJounte Murray. They're gonna have to build that chemistry also. So there are a lot of question marks in the West, but the West is gonna be another tight race. But I think the three teams that I could say, okay, these teams gonna be tough to pass in the regular season. OKC, Minnesota, and Denver. Everybody else is passable. The Lakers. I mean, the Lakers. To be honest with you, I think JJ Redick can do a good job. I think he can do a really good job. I just have to see it on the floor in the first year. And I still don't think the roster the Lakers have, if healthy, they're pretty good. I feel like with the right coaching, the Lakers could be a sneaky team. I just have to see it play out. Now, when it comes to like accolades, I don't think we'll have an MVP candidate, to be honest with you. I think for us to have an MVP candidate, we have to be a number one seed. And we got to have like it'll be De'Aaron Fox. Like De'Aaron Fox had to be like a leading scorer. If not a leading scorer, he had basically do what SGA did. Be a top, like lead the league in steals, like he did last year, Fox. Be a 30-point per game scorer, and you have to be a number one seed. Outside of that, I don't see Fox being the MVP race. I believe Sabonis and Fox will be all NBA players this year. If Fox, here's the thing. Here's the kicker for Fox. If Fox makes an all NBA, because he turned down his extension. If Fox makes an all NBA team this year, he could receive a 5-year, $345 million supermax. 3-year, $345 million supermax. Sorry, 5-year. That's $69 million a year. Woo! That would eclipse Jason Tatum. $69 million a year, y'all. So he better be an All-NBA player. That got to be in his mindset. But guess what? In order for De'Aaron Fox with the Sacramento Kings, in order for him to become an All-NBA player, he has to be on a winning team. He has to, because Kings don't get no recognition unless they're winning. So he has to be on a winning team, and his numbers got to be good. He went through a slump last year where nobody can explain to me what happened. I don't know if it was injury. I don't know if it was mental. I don't know what it was. But Fox went through a stretch. He started off on an MVP trajectory, and then he just fell off out of nowhere. Like, he just went through this slump. That cannot happen this year. He has to play a full season of all NBA quality product. So he will have to average, like 28, 29, 30 points a game. I think he has to, like around that 20, 30 points a game. And we have to be a top seed in the West. And I believe that he still will be a top steals per game type guy. And he will be fighting for an all defensive spot too. I know that's one of his goals. But yeah, and the first, and like I said, Sabonis is going to get there. If we're winning, Sabonis is going to automatically punch his ticket as an all NBA player because Sabonis is productive. I mean, he's going to average around 18 to 20 points a game. He's going to give you 12 rebounds a game, and he's going to average around 7 to 10 assists a game. That's what he's going to do, right? So, and he's going to get a bunch of triple doubles. He's going to get a bunch of double doubles. So he's going to be productive. He's going to have the stats. If we're winning, Sabonis automatically punches his ticket as an all NBA player. Then I think the first step of being an all NBA player, you have to be an all-star. So now obviously you could be an all-NBA player without being an all-star. But the first step of being an all-NBA player is being an all-star. When you're an all-star, that's showing signs of all-NBA type quality player. Now, we know based on the history of the Kings, you have to be winning to be an all-star. Because, like I said, Sabonis will punch his ticket in if we're winning because he put up the stats. But Fox had to score and win. He has to score and win. Score and win. He has to be on top of the charts in points per game, and we have to be winning. When I say winning, top 3, top 4 seed, not top 5. Top 4 seed, home court advantage. All right? So, that's that. The 6th Man of the Year award, Malik Monk, 2 years in a row, fell short. First to Michael Brogdon, first to Naz Reid. Now, there are cases for the first year, oh my goodness. Michael Brogdon should never won over him. You know what I mean? Like, Malik Monk, he had the most points. But Michael Broderick was number one seed. He's number one seed. They were winning. We were three. They were one. Nas Reed wins. Oh my gosh. Uh, Malik Monk led all bench players in points and assists and double doubles. I think double doubles. But oh my goodness, he went crazy. Nas Reed was winning. Malik Monk. We were the ninth seed. They were the third seed. So once again, for Malik Monk to get that award, we have to be winning. Everything lines up to winning. The Kings have to be winning for Malik Monk to get that Sixth Man of the Year award. We can't be a play-in team and expect to be a sixth man. We can't be, you look at the history of Sixth Man of the Year. Usually, it's somebody on the best team, on a number one seed, like a top three seed. You have to be on one of the best teams in the league, and you got to be productive on the bench. That's a formula. You can't be a non-playoff team and be a sixth man of the year. That's just how it is. Because think about it, we were the ninth seed. If it was no play-in, we wouldn't made the playoffs anyway. So that's that. And so lastly, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, what kind of award can he get this year? MVP? Nah. Can he make an all-star? Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, if we're like number one seed and he averaging 24 points a game, Fox averaging 30 points a game, and Sabonis doing his triple-double thing, then yeah, he could possibly get in there. If we're number one seed, we had to be a number one seed, though. They get 3 All-Stars in there. The Clutch Player of the Year award, that's going to be tough because he's playing with De'Aaron Fox. He's also playing with Malik Monk. Malik Monk was a top 20 Clutch Player last year also. So he probably get the Clutch Player of the Year award, but it's going to be tough because he's also playing with De'Aaron Fox, who's also a Clutch Player. And De'Aaron Fox will have the ball in his hands a lot down the stretch. I mean, so the only thing for DeMar DeRozan this year is winning. Get some wins on your resume. Take a young team like the Sacramento Kings far into the playoffs. And that will boost your resume because they never been far until you got there. That would make DeRozan look so good. Now, he got to the Eastern Conference Finals before, I believe, with Toronto and got swept by LeBron. But you come in the West and you get this team that never been nowhere, somewhere, that's going to be good for your resume, for your Hall of Fame resume, Hall of Fame potential resume. So DeMar DeRozan, once again, everything comes down to winning. Win. Now, what's next for this show, y'all? I will be going live after every game. Every game I will be going live. All right? Now, obviously, there are 82 games in the season. I'm not always watching the game like I home my TV. I'm not always home watching the game. Sometimes I'm out and I watch it on my phone. But I watch every single game. I mean, from start to finish. I don't listen to the game. I don't watch the highlights to the game. I watch every dribble from start to finish. If we're down by 20 with 5 minutes left in the game, I'm going to be watching. If we're up by 30, 5 minutes left in the game, I'm going to be watching. I watch all the games. I will never forget when we were losing in Houston, and I will also watch every press conference. We were losing in Houston. And last year in Houston, we played on back-to-back games. And I think it was the first game in Houston. We were down by like 20-something. And I think it was the first game. It's one of them games. And that's when Keon Ellis first got his limelight. We were down by a bunch of points. It was late in the game. He threw the whole bench in. And they made it like a little comeback. And Keon Ellis played good. And then we played OKC at home. And I think somebody got hurt. Somebody got hurt. Kevin Hurley got hurt. We played OKC at home in the NCAA tournament, and Keon Ellis played really good defense on SGA, and we blew them out. And that's when I was like, uh-oh. And then that's when he started getting his opportunities over Davion Mitchell. So I watch every game. So I'm going to go live after every game. Now, if I'm out, obviously, like I'm going to do it once I get home. I'm going to avoid doing stuff in my car, but I will do it once I get home. And then I'm going to go live at every game. So the next time I will be going live is this Thursday Well, yeah, today's Friday. This Thursday, we play Minnesota in a home opener at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So after that game, I will be live recapping the game. And then after we recap the game, if there's any Kings news that happen, I will address that. And also get a little preview into the next game against the Lakers. All right. So, yeah, I'm excited. Kings basketball is back, baby. It's back. And if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, after every win, we lighten the beam. We lighten the beam. I got me a little purple light, and after every win, I will be lighting the beam. So follow me on X or Instagram. You can always communicate with me through there. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. So I'm excited. Kings basketball is here. I'm excited for the future for this Kings team. And that's all I have for y'all today. And I'll see y'all next episode. Let's get it. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. Hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.